Hello, everyone. Good day for us. I think a few of you are joining us already. Daisy, good. Hey there. Peter, Wilma, Marco, Estácia, Soraya, Rebecca. Who else? Let me see. Let's wait for more 2 minutes and we can start off. Gabriel. Good to see you guys. Zozo and Benji just growing, right, Gabriel? They are so cute. I keep follow them through in your stories. Okay. Marcos is Aline Camargo, Adriana. Okay, guys. Just waiting more 2 minutes. I know that we have all of us probably have still many things to to do after this call. So just gonna wait for more 2 3 minutes. Deborah, do you have any updates, any introduction, anything that you want to start off? So when we are waiting.
No, yeah, hi everyone. No, today our beautiful CEO and now partner at Humify. I don't know if you guys saw the update that also Beatriz Canguçu is now partner here at Humify, and this is such a great news for us, Bia. So I just want to let everyone here know, and just go to our last post. Just leave a message to her, just encouraging her to this next step. Yes, and then today she's gonna be leading our meeting talking about the power of daily habits. And I think she's really good about daily habits because we can see in her Insta stories that she does some things every day. She goes out for running, she has devotional time. So we are willing and really, yeah, grateful to learn from you today, Bia. So the floor is yours. Just go ahead.
Thank you, Dad. You're very kind. Sometimes I think processing the message in my mind, I say, okay, Lord, okay, God is good. So, hello, everyone. Once again, I'm so glad that I have the opportunity, the privilege to share a few thoughts and few things from my experience with you all. And I know that anyone that comes here, for sure, it is a privilege for us because we have your guys' attention for at least maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, depends how much engaged you want to be on this conversation. But as I always pray, I hope at the end of the day, as I believe the Holy Spirit, that is something bigger and better to speak over your life and to promote not just in your abilities and skills for your work environment purpose, work wise, but for all the levels of your life. So I'm excited to speak about this. Yesterday when I was like going through my notes, I say, that's interesting. And though I don't know if some of you may know that, some of others may not know that, but I'm also a nutritionist. I also have a specialization, yeah, I believe so, not master, but a specialization in clinic health issues and dealing with patients. I still work with them, but that's pretty much 20% of my work routine nowadays. There is a purpose behind of this ministry purpose as well. And the majority of things, I don't know about you guys, but the majority of things that I was empowered and I learned it, I became empowered, and I was able to, how can I say, to build up myself for the work environment, came from the years of my college years, my internship years, and as well for the time that I served in my church. So all, like, for all the things that I had to pass through that at the time I did not understand, and I say, okay, Lord, what is this, how this is gonna ended up at the end collaborates for me to be in the role, in the position that I am right now. So I don't know if maybe you work here with us within a specific role, but you have maybe additional positions, like additional degrees in your life. Don't just disregard that. Pretty much some part of your journey, although you maybe not be active in that specific role or activity or degree, that definitely empowers you for other things that you still need to generate in this season. So anyways, let's go and start off with this topic. So pretty much we're going to speak about the power of daily habits. And let's go to the basics. And I also have like a practical test, not test, but maybe action or something for us to interact and really receive these like not this teaching, but the share his insights and try to run with it and see how much we can apply and how many results we can get afterwards. So what is routine? Let's begin from the basics. One question, and you guys, it's not a rhetorical question. I'm going to give you guys the answer, but think about it. What is routine? What does routine means? A regular, repeated way of doing things, a fixed pattern of activities. Okay, routine, in basic sense, we kind of know, all of us, we know. What are habits? Habits are behavior or actions that we do regularly, often without even think about them. We just do it, and they look at this definition here, this the part of this definition. They develop through repetition and can be good, positive, or bad, negative. Something about the habits. I don't know if you guys remember, maybe some of you, maybe others not. There is a book that is a well-known book that is The Power of the Habit. I don't know. I think like paraphrase this way might be another name, but it was like a big hit. I think 2020 to not 2020, 2010 to between 2010 and 2015. So maybe a few of you were never even born, but the others may know about this book. But anyways, it's there about the power of the habits, and pretty much this scientist, he brought many, like he's a psychologist, and also I think it's a neurosurgeon, and he brought many like facts, studies that they passed through, understanding and study about the power of the habit. What does the habit means for the human being, and how this can empower us, or depends of what is the outcome, positive or negative outcome. And usually in this book brings something that usually a habit, and usually in nutrition aspects, biologic, physiologic, and chemistry aspects, we also say, and usually when I'm dealing with my patients, I say that there is a timeline for a habit to become a habit. But usually, like to build up a habit, that is three main, how can I say, branches, not branches, but foundations. We have a cue or trigger, something that prompts that habit, like that initiates that habit, or maybe activates that habit. We have a routine that generates something, triggers, and then you put in something action, and then you have a reward. And remember that when we speak about habits here, we speak about the two sides of the coin, positive and negatives. So for instance, oh, you feel hungry, and then you say, okay, I feel hungry. So, and you say you have a habit that no, let me make a or give a better example. Every morning you say, okay, my cup. Okay, I need my cup of coffee. If I don't have my like raw drippy cup of coffee, I'm not myself. And then when you have it, it's a habit, like, oh, your cup, okay, it's a trigger. I'll wake up. Okay, need my cup of coffee. And then when you have it, you feel relieved, or you feel recharged, because you had something that it is a habit for you. And usually there is a compensation or reward involved with that habit. What is power? What is power, guys? Power in general, and like more general and simplified way to say, the capacity or ability to do something, to direct, influence the behavior of others, or the course of the events. So generally, most of us, we have a routine, or usually we should have a routine. Bia, why we should have a routine? I don't know about you, if you even thought about this, because I know that sometimes depends of the styles, and lately our new generations, in like Z generations, Gen generations, all the alpha, beta generations level that we are having, being like facing lately, with like since after since 2000. One thing that we have been noticed, that there are a few things that before was the basics and they're obvious for us, but nowadays it's becoming like we are, how can I say, we are interpreting these basic things in a different way, or you're trying to bring in new interpretations for the basics. What do I mean with the basics, Bia? Everyone, in some sense, even like when we are born, depends on how the way that you are raised, that you should flow better if you have a routine. Why, Bia? Because I know that people say, oh, Bia, come on. I'm in my fluid way. I go with the flow. I don't need a routine. But did you know that that should be at least a better pathway or better approach for yourself? Because actually, your body functions in this way. Look at these numbers. So, usually, your body, like your whole being, in order for your whole being to be function, activate, it demands a systematic 100 systematics process daily. It demands 1,000 organs process daily, and it demands trillions per second cellular process daily. So in some sense, there are many things in your body, in your structure, your natural structure, that depends of the routine that initiates by this process and have a routine, a specific routine, and they happen with consistency and they become a habit. That's or the at the end of the day, that's or the combination of the events that make us able to become a human being or to become alive. So no one's checking, okay, heart, are you beating? No, if we're here, it's because your heart is beating. Thanks God. No one is checking. Come on, lads. Are you like breathing? Are you working well so I can breathe? If you're here, if you're not choking or something, probably breathing well. That's good. Celebrate that. Glory to God. But why I'm saying this, why I'm being funny, Bia? Because I just want to say it is our biologic instinct. We were made, and as well, if you go to the Bible and if you lead like Genesis, the book of creation, the way that we are made, the way that the nature are made, everything, the way that everything naturally works, comes from, in some sense, a systematic process, or comes from a such order that generates a routine. This routine when like functions with consistency, became a habit, and then later on we're gonna get to the power. But so far, you guys follow me through. Okay, so when we talk about the power of a daily habit or routine, first thing that you have to think about it: do I have a routine? Because usually you should have a routine, not just because you want to, because you are made for something like this. Your structure, your whole structure, your whole like organ, cells, body, in like natural system is built up with like, in some sense, a consistent routine or regular routine or consistent processes that generate habits. And that's how we do, that's how we become ourselves with our habits. Sometimes depend of the environment for sure influences a lot. The people that walk with us influences a lot the habits that we have. But so far, I just want to break this down for us. So in summary, the question that we should be asking ourselves, and although we're going to talk a little bit, we're going to continue speaking about, okay, how can I, okay, Bia, what is the outcome, or what are the practical steps? I always think about practical steps for this topic. How important it is, this topic, for my life. We always should ask ourselves, okay, what are the types of results that I want to achieve? Because when we talk about power, it is something that you want to hold, to influence, to convert something, to influence others, to have the authority of action, authority of decision. And basically, if we can build up a pathway, a routine exists for us to generate a search order, and depending on how much you're consistent with that routine, can become a habit. And then what is the sparkle? The sparkle is when I break through, or when I generate how can I say, when I burst my habit to generate power. So okay, Bia, okay, that's I don't know if that you guys are getting there, if I already lost you, but anyways, stay with me. So how can I build up how can I have the right evaluations to understand myself, to understand how do I get to power? First of all, I have to understand myself, how I was built up. I have to understand usually the season that I am and what are the priorities for the seasons. And I have to understand, okay, the way that I generate my routine It's going to facilitate things or it's going to complicate things for me to achieve my results. And what is power? The ability of not just to achieving your results, but to burst your results. So with that in mind, yesterday I was thinking, okay, what would be one very specific verse besides data, scientific facts and information. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 23 23rd says, may God himself, the God of peace, sanctify you through and through. May your whole spirit, soul, and body be kept blameless at the coming of our Lord. So pretty much, I don't know, when we are talking about routine, and one thing that I already brought to you as a statement, you should have, would be good, like a good suggestions for you to have a power in your habit for your routines. It is the first thing you have to understand. I should have a routine. A routine is good in some sense because it's natural. It's natural because I was made by these regulars, routines, process that happens in my body. And you're going to see it's natural. That's natural. You don't need to make, how can I say, it's not something that you generate from scratch. No, it's something that you are built up for. So anyways, but one thing, thinking about routine, sometimes we kind of stay stagnated, or in some sense we do have a routine, we do classify ourselves a routine, but we do not implement a routine that covers our whole composition. So my question to you is, okay, our goal is to see how do I break through my habits in a sense that I generate not just results but power. First of all, understand that you're made for a routine. Your body was built for a routine. And your routine should cover not just one aspect of your life. Should cover, if you really want to active power, it should cover your whole composition. And for me, and I believe for like any Christians or believer, but it's not just that. Like I think for any like human being, we always have the understanding that, okay, I have emotions. And usually when we call emotions, we call reason. Oh, I have a soul. I apologize. I have a soul. And we usually when we describe soul, or we go to the understanding and to the studies, the understand of soul, we understand that soul, it is the composition, the combination between reason and emotions. Awesome, I have a body. Everyone has a body here. No one is a ghost. Glory to God. No one is a ghost. Otherwise, you would not be here. So that's the basic. Okay, I have a soul and I have a body, like the natural portion. Usually, majority of us, we define ourselves just in these two categories. But the Bible, and for the what I believe, and for how can I like achieve the biggest and the highest performance in my life, in my routine, implementing all this technical and scientific knowledge, it is when I cover up all the accents. We are made up, and that is one of the reasons that we also have many religions in the world, because at the end of the day, we are made up to be as whole, spirit, soul, and body. And when we talk about routine, we need to think about ourselves. So first of all, I already have the understanding. Is not like just a common sense. Oh, I need a routine because it's good. No, you need a routine because you're made for a routine, your body, and you're gonna function well, and you're gonna have better habits. Depends of what type of routine do you have. If you generate that, okay. But second question, or a few questions that I have here for us. But before going to the questions, let me just see if there is something that I'm missing here in my. Okay, so far I have to understand what is a routine for habits, power, our goals to achieve power. Okay, now I have to understand, evaluate myself. Few questions. Ask yourself, do you have a routine? Answer to yourself. Maybe if you have a list or if you want to take some notes, to be something that you can run with afterwards. I don't know. Do I have a routine? Answer for yourself. Does my routine cover all the three aspects based what Bia just has shared with me? Like, does my routine cover something that is gonna cover up my spirit aspects, my emotional aspects, and my natural aspects? And when I say natural, guys, not just external, I'm saying about physical body per se. Do I have this? So that's the first scale or level of your question. And I would suggest be honest with yourself. And usually routine, as we first like define the beginning, it's a regular, repeated way of doing things with a fixed pattern or activity that I do with regular, like daily, that is part of my daily, not habits yet, but yeah, it's part of my daily habits, because from the routine is the basics, because based on the routine, it becomes a habit. So yes, habits can be built up. It's not because, oh, I was born this way, I'm gonna live my life this way, that's it. No, the opposite. I believe that God gave us ability to excel, to evolve, in glory to God for that. Can you imagine if the way that you think, it is the same way that you, the way that your thoughts and ideas and conceptions when you were 6 years old, if you had it, if you still have the same ideas, conceptions, and thoughts nowadays, that would be damage and detrimental, I would say. But unfortunately, there are a few people, they, although they grow in the body, the reason, the emotions still act like 6 year old. But no, no comments for this aspect. I just like to make some fun between us. Sometimes we also act like a 6 year old. Depends how stressed we are, how frustrated we are, right, guys? So, anyways, let's go back to the topic. So, have in mind, we are still doing the questions. Be honest with yourself. Okay, do I have a routine in my life? Okay, why can I classify what I call routine actually a routine? How consistent are you with this routine? Usually, when I say with my patients, the journey to generate a habit, there is equation. So, okay, I define what is my goals. That's my goals. How do I gonna get there? And that's where I'm gonna build up my routine. The consistency plus consistency will lead me to a habit. What is a habit? That I will not struggle every day to generate that routine. As much as consistent I am, implement, focus in my results. I'm implement like the as much as I'm consistent I am, focus my result to implement a routine, eventually that becomes a habit. And we know, guys, we don't have every day perfect. Things happen during your day. But my question to you is, if you have a routine, and then the second question, do I have a routine? Is my routine cover up my spiritual composition, the part of my soul and the part of my body? So answer to yourself. And okay, Bia, how do I base myself? Because maybe say, yes, I am. Do your routine or do your habits, you are able to consistently achieve them and keep them 80% of the time? Because things happens, routines change, accidents happens, emergencies happens, lives happens. But if you're not able to have that standard, as the goal is to starting to become a habit in your life, to have a consistency, a regular consistency of around 80%. Because when you start to have this regular routine with consistency, achieving 80%, knowing the 20% is going to be like the up and downs, the things that you have to adapt. Okay, where are going to get close to be? You're going to get close to that routine becomes a habit for you. And what is the importance to become the habit? Because in the beginning, for something to become a habit, it demands a lot of efforts. It demands a lot of sacrifice, demands a mindset, demands like a posture, it demands like a really aligned and disciplined focus on the results. And sometimes many of us, we do not achieve our routines. Come on, you guys, let's be honest, because we are not disciplined, or because we are focused on the results, but you're not focused in the pathway that lead us to the results. And so easily we are open to sacrifice for anything that does not cost us nothing. Because to generate habits, it's gonna cost you discipline. It's gonna cost you always think about the results. It's gonna cost you to put in the wage and say, okay, what is worth more? Okay, it is easy for me. Remember the habit. It is easy for me to wake up in the morning, I don't know, early, 2 hours early in my day, or let's just give an example, 2 hours early of my work hours and do some workout. what are the difficulties? And you should list out the difficulties to be real and realistic. How do I gonna achieve this routine? What is my goal? My goal is to lose, I don't know, 5 kilos. I don't know how many pounds, 15 pounds, something like that. Okay, what do I need to do? What are the things, practical steps that I need to do? What's the routine that I have to implement to achieve these results? And every day when I choose to implement this routine, and here I gave example, natural example, but you should have think about yourself. Okay, how am I build up myself to success? What type of routine am I build up, not to cover up in part the composition that I have, but to cover up all the levels, all the branches of my compositions, all the foundations of my composition, spirit, soul, and body. Have this in mind. So, and another question, let me see, because, okay. The mom, okay, Bia, now I answer a question. I understood that we need a routine. I have a routine. There are a few things I'm doing. Maybe I do regularly, maybe not. Maybe I'm not in the 80%, but maybe I'm in the 60%. Okay, this is everything for us to evaluate. Okay, what is the importance of routine becoming habit? First of all, that means that you are getting the rhythm, that you are actually being disciplined, that you're actually being consistent, that you're actually establishing pattern. And what is the goodness of establishing patterns? Because usually with routine, we are here talking about the basics. The basics, usually like what type of routine that we have. Everyone should at least brush your teeth. You know what I mean? Like should be a routine for you. And you learn it because someone age before taught you with consistently every day establish a routine for you to learn, and now it's a habit for you. You don't say, oh, I know that some days we might have difficulty, but it's not like, oh my goodness, a burden for you to know that you have to brush your teeth. You know the consequence is, first of all, I'm gonna have good breath for people, to speak with people. It's about hygienics, customers, and also you have already the knowledge. Okay, one day my mom and dad taught me that. At the time I didn't want to, but now I'm an adult and understand the results. So I'm gonna implement, and actually already became a habit. Why? Because previously you had it, your parents had it to establish a routine for you. And that's the thing that most of us as an adults we do not establish when we become self-responsible. When you are at least, and these transitions start to happen when you are passing through a teenagerhood, because it is a moment that we are not just self-discovering ourselves, but discovering the world, the external meds, influences, and we think that we can call the shots. But then one thing that we don't want to assume as teenager, it is the responsibility and the discipline to establish the routine to achieve the results. As an adult, what is the conversation, Bia, for me to have powerful habits? That you not just focus in the results, you focus in the results, but you build up a pathway to achieve the results. And how do I build up a pathway, Bia? I establish a routine. When I establish a routine, it's gonna have friction. It's gonna require for me effort. It's gonna demand me discipline. That's awesome. Okay, but eventually, this routine, you know what is gonna happen? It's gonna light up. Why? Because it's gonna become a habit. So the first challenge, it is to establish a routine, you guys, and stick with the routine. And remember, if you want to really, truly be empowered, and not just be empowered, but achieve bursting power, you have to think about it, not just cover up one part of a composition, but the whole aspects of your composition. Second, establish a routine, stick with a routine. Remember, you should establish a routine, think about your outcomes. So you understand your season. What's the routine that you need for a season right now? And when you have the outcomes in line, in vision, okay, think about it. What should I do to get there? And have as practical target, okay, at least 80% of my day or my week, I need to achieve this. And make effort. It's gonna be hard. Yes, it is. Yes, like until it becomes a habit, our body has the amazing capacity or ability to adapt. As you're gonna be, when something becomes regular, that's started to become a habit for you. Usually, you guys, let me give you guys some numbers because I love to work with numbers. At least for our routine to start to initiate a habit in your ecosystem, in yourself, but also the things around you, it requires at least 3 months. 3 months of you hitting that specific percentage, knowing that the goal is 100, but I don't know, at least 80% I can achieve. Okay, I can achieve 80% for the next 3 months. You're going to see that the level of resistance is going to start to decrease. Why? Because now your body already incorporated that routine and you have as a habit. Okay, Bia, knowing that, and this is an unending cycle, guys, for habits. So according to the results, and have in mind that I'm here just speaking about the good things, the positive things about thinking you got, like thinking about it, that you guys just want good things. If I don't want good things, I don't want to achieve good results, just do the opposite. Don't have a routine. Don't cover up the free compositions of your body. Continue doing things like high and low your routine. You're gonna be on the same level. That's the recipe for being the same level. That's the recipe for burnout. That's the recipe for continue just doing things in such a level, but then never breaks through. So very basic in knowing that we are built up for this routine. That is a specific routine is the basic for us to generate the habits, the good habits, or a habits means achieving the results that I need with less resistance. Okay, Bia, but have this in mind. How do I break out or break through in power? The power is when, based on your routine, you're not just able to generate the basics of our routine, but you're able to starting to add it up additional resistance over a routine to generate burst. Okay, Bia, give me a practical example. Usually we all know that why we say this in the exercises, and even Nike use this brand. Okay, no pain, no gain, this merchandise. Because literally your body, your muscles, and muscles mean not just structure. Muscles mean proteins, mean for our organism, means like ability of protection, ability of resistance, ability of performance. Means that for you to go beyond the level that you're built up, you have to add resistance. And when you break through that resistance, every time that you learn how break through the resistance, that's the moment that you start to become stronger. The new muscles, it is pretty much the burst of your muscles fibers leads your body to reconstruct to new ways of new cells, to build up new cells, new fluids, new blood flow, everything new. So instead of breaking down, you grow in strength to support the resistance. And that's when powers happens. So you guys, I don't know if you guys follow me so far here, and I really want to make this pathway for us to understand, because for me, more than just give you guys the fish and explain thing, my desire in the way that I believe that is more, how can I most effective empower you for your guys' leadership, in my leadership, it is to teach you how to catch the fish. So instead of just giving you some fish and some tips, I can say, okay, do you guys really want to have power habits for a routine? First of all, have a routine. Be honest with yourself. Do you have a routine? Is your routine cover up your whole composition, spirit, emotional, and natural, physical? Okay, my routine. What do I call routine? Am I being consistent, regular consistent with this routine 80% of the time? And then say, okay, is my routine became a habit now? Because if it became a habit, that means that I can add it up more resistance. And resistance, guy, usually means sacrifice. And the same thing happens with our role in our job positions. I know that we're talking about biologic aspects, maybe physiologic aspects, spiritual aspects, emotional aspects, but the same thing happened with our roles in the company. Sometimes we want to say, I want to go to another level, but are you doing the basic pretty well? Are you doing the basic, cover up all the angles of your roles entails? And then The basic of a role already became a habit for you, and everyone else can see, because a habit. It's not something that you can fake here or there when we want to. A habit, something that showcase yourself in the most comfortable moments or in the most frictions moments, the moments. And usually your habit truly your truly habit is showcased in the moments of friction, in the moment of stress, in the moments of pressure. You can see how much yourself can handle. Pass through a conflict, pass through a stress, pass through a critical, or pass through I don't know, injustice, or something that shake your bases, shake your foundations. And that's when you can see through yourself what type of routine, what type of results, the outcome of your response of that situation. You can think, okay, in my routine, set me out for success or not? What are the shifts that I have to make? And then when thinking about it, okay, do I have a routine? Okay, my routine now became a habit. It's not so hard for me to deal with problems. It's not so hard for me to deal with depression. It's not so hard for me to deal with the demands of my life in this season. That's amazing. But the powers just come if you keep added up resistance. And resistance means sacrifice, additional efforts, additional pain, additional some time, growth, no pain, no gain. Growth usually natural wise, I don't even know if that expression is correct, or body wise, it comes from something that is first break to burst. Something that breaks or bursts to overflow. So basically, I would say to all of you, the power of a daily habits. The power of a daily habits begins when you, first of all, you understand the routine that you have to establish with a whole composition, that you achieve this with 80% of your demands, that this, then you go to the second level, this become a habit. It's not a struggle for you anymore. For instance, it's not a struggle for you anymore doing exercise. I know that exercise is a challenge, but you are so focused, it became a habit because you already understood the taste of the results. When you are consistent with a routine and you start to taste of the results, or taste the fruits or the reward, that's become a habit because you understand, okay, although I don't want to, I have a decision to make, I'm gonna go because I want to achieve the results. For instance, you guys, the most productive days for my life in my routine, and usually for everything that I have to do and I have to hold up with excellence, empowerment for my life first and the others around us, usually requires for me a lot of sacrifices that no one is seeing, but it has been established because I was honest enough to say, I need to have a routine. I need to achieve these goals. What are the things that I'm gonna be committed to myself? And although I know that there are a few days that I'm gonna have to shift, and when I'm gonna have to shift, maybe the sacrifice is gonna be even harder. But I know that right now, as much as harder it is, as much painful it is right now, or maybe no one's seeing, I'm focused on the results. I'm focused in the power. I'm focused in the power that it's gonna generate, or I gonna get at the end of the race, literally. So usually my routine, the days that and I'm so glad you guys, just a testimony. Last year, I always was like a kind of runner, but run a very low scale or low like level. I just ran 5 miles, maybe 7, 8. But I always thought of myself. I always love nutrition, not just nutrition. I always love the topics. I say, I know who I am. I know what I want to achieve. And I know, God, what your word says that I can achieve. What do I have to do? I always ask this question to me. Okay, anything that depends on me, God, I know that anything that comes from you depends on you. I know that you are willing, you are faithful, and you are there. So I want to be there as well. I don't want to block myself for the things that you have for me. So what are the things that I every day gonna have to be honest with myself? There are a few days harder than others, but I need to embrace. I need to embrace the sacrifice. I need to embrace the effort. I need to embrace the growth. And growth means pain, sacrifice, responsibilities, demands with balance. And for my life is always like, what? How can I get to the balance, Lord? If your word says that you gave me spirit of balance, so I need it. Let me pull. Let me active this. So, anyways, I always want to say, I always here in the place that I live nowadays, there are many sports events. And surprised me, like sometimes how many elderly people, they have best performance, they have best abilities and skills than I am. And I say, come on, I'm like, I will not say my age for those that it's millennial ones, do not laugh about me. But anyway, I say, come on, I'm still young. What am not even able to do this? And many of them, sometimes when I have the opportunity to know them, they have even a double of routine than mine. So I say something's wrong. But anyways, I remember that I have sent my I say next year I want to be ready. I want to be ready, and I scientifically and biologically understand the facts, how I need to go for what the steps that I need to build up to achieve this. And I remember that I even shared with some of you. I remember that I said when I was running, there was one day, and then my husband was also an athlete. So we have this kind of competition always ongoing here at home. So, anyways, one day I remember that he always called me a chicken. Don't have about me because you say, "Come on, girl, you're just like do more, go farther. Come on, you're a chicken." And I know that it's just a way that we play around. But I say, "Come on, I want to stop being a chicken in my life. I want to go. I want to break through for the exercises for this." But anyways, there is a moment that he said, "You know that that's something about your mind. The moment that you set it up in your mind that you can do it, you're gonna do it." And that guy, I taste and approve it. The moment that I say, "Why you just run until 10 miles? Next week I'm gonna run." I say, and I remember there was not next week because that's postponement breaks routine. Postponements, it's a lethal, no, lethal. No, I forgot the term. But postponement, it's like something deadly for a routine that breaks you, like jeopardize you. But anyways, I remember that I say, okay, today I was running, and when I got to the mark of 7, almost dying and putting my heart in my mouth. But I say, one more mile, another mile. And now I started to feel the pain. I start to feel, oh my goodness, I'm gonna pass out. And I say, nobody, you are not. You are built for that. You can handle. If you're in a war, I started to think about myself, very extreme scenarios. So just to give me additional endorphin courage, if you're in a war, if you're past, like, I don't know, hunger, you would fall, like you would run even farther and harder. And then I went until my time was up. And then was the first time that I went to my, okay, today I ran 15. And now I went 18. Now I run 20. Now I'm going beyond and above 20. And I celebrate me, not just because, oh, it's a number and everyone's is in this race mood. No, but I celebrate something, okay, it actually works once again. The moment that I can establish a routine, I cover up all the aspects. I'm consistently 80%. And that habit, I break through that habit and I burst this, that happen. That's the moment that I can flourish and I can flow in achieving power. So, guys, that's the teaching for us today. I don't know if you guys were able to get something or not. I don't know if you guys are just focusing your tasks, looking to the computer, doing other things that I know the majority of you does. I don't care. At the end of the day, I know my responsibility. Each one of you know your responsibility. And at the end of the day, I know that I will see the results of your guys being focused here with your fruits, with the results of your work. So we don't need to discuss. Your fruits, your results gonna say to me how much your guys are involved here. But anyways, Deborah, already being my data alignment to all of us. Thank you, Deborah, for having me again here. And it is you are up.
Thank you, Bia. Thank you for pouring these amazing words, and I'm sure that that's something that I need to learn also to to stick with my routine. That's thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
I thank everyone. God bless. Have an amazing day, week. Bye, 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 bye.